This is Aghaboe Abbey in County Laois, and it has a long and interesting history, and in its prime it must have been a spectacular place. A monastery was originally founded here by St Canice no later than 577. St Canice is also connected to the cathedral at Kilkenny, where his seat, sometimes referred to as St Kieran's chair, was brought in the 13th century. The seat contains a stone said to have been brought from Aghaboe, and the Church of Ireland bishop is still enthroned on this seat today. St Canice died around the year 600 and was buried at Aghaboe, where his bones became a shrine and a site of pilgrimage. Aghaboe was also home to another saint, Saint Virgilius, who lived in the 8th century. He was the abbot of Aghaboe and went on to be the Bishop of Salzburg in Austria. This is a connection that is still celebrated today. The site was attacked and destroyed on multiple occasions, resulting in a series of churches being built on the site. It was burned by Vikings in 913 and in other attacks in 1116 and 1189. A church was built on the site in 1052, which contained the shrine and bones of St Canice, possibly a small shrine chapel similar to St Kieran's in Clonmacnoise. Following the Norman conquest, the Ville of Aghaboe was granted to Adam de Hereford by Strongbow in 1172, along with lands around Clonfert Maloo and Skirk. He was likely responsible for the construction of the Motte Bailey in the fields to the north of the site. An Augustinian priory was founded on the site in 1234, where the present Protestant church stands today, retaining some features of this Augustinian priory. The bell tower is largely 13th century in date, although the facing is modern. The sandstone doorway is 15th century in date and likely comes from later building works from the priory. Stone faces and a medieval font also come from this foundation. In 1382, a Dominican friary was built alongside the Augustinian priory and was founded by the MacGillapatricks during the Gaelic resurgence. The friary was likely built on the site of the 1052 shrine chapel, which had been largely destroyed during a MacGillapatrick attack on the site in 1346, which was led by Dermot MacGillapatrick, the One-Eyed. By 1359, the nearby motte was in MacGillapatrick hands, and the new priory may have been a way for making penance for the destruction of the saint's shrine and bones. What remains of this foundation is the main church of the friary, missing its north wall, with a later added transept built on its south side, known as Phelan's Chapel. The outline of the cloister can still be seen to the north of the church in the adjacent field. A fine traceried window on its east wall is identical to a slightly earlier window found at Holy Cross Abbey in Tipperary, and it was either inspired by Holy Cross or the same hand is responsible for both. The site has been preserved by the efforts of a dedicated local community group. With such a long history, this is a fascinating site with great possibility for future archaeologists and historians. Surely there is still so much to learn about Aghaboe that only archaeological investigation could reveal.